Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to knit this beautiful hat with ghost, my ghostly hat. It's very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. There you will find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. For this hat, these are the material I'm going to use. They are the Loops and Thread Impeccable, medium 4, 100% acrylic. The color of this one is white and true gray. They are leftover. I already used this white in another project, but I hardly use any. And this one is the leftover from the poncho that I did with a stripe, with a big white stripe. This is the leftover. It's true gray. The circular needle are 4.5 millimeter. The length of the cable is the shortest 8 inches 20 centimeter from my Shagu set. Come like this. In the description box below is all the links of the stuff that I bought over the years, just in case you guys are interested to look at them. And I'm gonna use some markers. These I made. I have the link. I'm gonna leave the link here. I did a tutorial on how to make these very useful markers, and we're gonna mark every design of the motif. That way it's easier to keep track. Also, I will leave the link at the end of this tutorial. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissor and this chart that I made. This is what we're gonna do. A little ghost. The stitch is the repetition of 14 stitches and is 18 rows. Now, depend on the size that you're making the hat is how many stitches you're gonna cast on, multiple 14, and for the length as well, it's up to you the length that you want to give to your hat. I zoom in the chart that way you guys can see the design a little bit better. You can take a screenshot on your cell phone, or you can pause the video and a graphic paper like this, like a little square. You can recreate this, or you can go to my Instagram Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido or my Facebook page Ruby Neck Crochet Tejido, and you will find the picture as well. The repetition of the design is 14 stitches, so you have to keep that in mind for the size that you want to make the hat. I'm gonna make this hat with 84 stitches. It will be for William, but it will fit me as well. Almost from 8 to 9 years old to almost an adult, because I'm an adult. But if you want a little bit bigger, I recommend to change needle size to a 5 millimeter, and it will be much bigger. And if you want to do this smaller, you can change to a 3.5 to a 4 millimeter netting needle, and the hat will shrink a lot. It will be much smaller. I wanted to mention that before we start with our casting on. We're gonna start by leaving the tail long enough to cast on our 84 stitches plus 1. I'm gonna do slip knot. And I always like to put my another needles on another ball of yarn. That way it's not rattling around here. So this is the tail, working yarn. I'm gonna cast on 84 stitches plus 1. You can cast on whichever way you feel more comfortable casting on. If you want this smaller and you want to keep the same size needle, you can remove 14 stitches. So I will measure here when I have my 84 plus 1. Now I'm ready to close the circumference, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass the first stitch over to the right hand needle, and then the last stitch that I cast on, I'm gonna make it bigger, pass it over the stitch that I passed, and then I'm gonna pull the working yarn and do a knot between the working yarn and the tail to close that gap. And then if you want, you can leave that stitch that you pass over in this needle, or you can put it back in here. It works either way. I'm gonna do a 1x1 rib brim. So the width that you're gonna work is up to you. If you want a single brim, I recommend 2 to 2.5 inches. And if you want a double brim, that you're gonna fold it in half, like I'm gonna do, because here in Canada the winter are very cold, so that will keep the ears extra warm. The double thickness, so I'm gonna do mine at 5 inches. So you're gonna do one net, one purl, one net, one purl, and that's how you're gonna do your beginning of the hat, doing a 1x1 rib. So depending on the size that you make in the hat is the size that you're gonna make the border. Can be less, can be more, can be 2 to 2.5 inches if it's a single brim. If it's a double brim, 5.5. And it depends on the size of the hat as well. If you're making a baby hat, you can do 1.5 to 2 inches. But remember, if you do a double, you only have to double the length of the 1x1 rib. Almost double the length. So I wanted to mention that. And for mine only 5, a little bit, give or take. I finished the round and I marked round 1, and I'm gonna continue. I just started in Spanish there. I'm gonna continue with the 1x1 rib, net in the net, purl in the purl, and I will give you the amount of round that I'm gonna do for the brim, as well as the measurement. You can guide yourself by both. So I will work on this, I think around 25 rounds, give or take, for the brim. So I have a way to go. Here I have the border, and it's almost 5 inches. Very close. You see 5 inches is here. And that is 12 centimeters. So now we're gonna work. I'm gonna put to 0. I did 26 row. I'm gonna put it to 0 now. That way I can count the rounds for the top of the hat. So in here in my graph I have 5 rounds of solid gray, but I'm gonna do 6. That way when I fold this, the little ghost is a little bit higher. What happened was I was doing my graph, and then I realized that I start the design of the ghost in round 6, and I wanted round 6 to be a solid color. But then I decided, well, I'm gonna do that extra one without having it here in the graph. And then and here 6 is the one where you start the design. If you want, you do one without counting, and then you start again from round 1. So we're gonna net those round. Also, if you don't want to have this solid, you can do one round in black, one round in gray. That will give you a little bit more of darkness on the hat because it's a ghost. But it's up to you. That just came to my mind right now. But I'm gonna do a solid gray and then the white. That'll be easier. So I will work for those 6 rounds, and I will meet you here. And I don't want to count that first one in my round counter. That way, when it's time to work with the graph, I don't get lost in which round I'm working. So the first one I don't want to count it here. I just gonna do that one, and then I will start and do my 5 one, and then 6 I will start doing the graph. Otherwise I'll get lost if I leave my work. I don't know if I'm doing the one that I supposed to. So this is just round and round of nets. I did my 6th row, but I mark as 5. And that way I can start with the 6 in here. So now we have to do the color work, and it's 13 gray and 1 white. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do 10 gray, and then I'm gonna start trapping the white. That way it's much easier. And then I'm gonna start placing markers in this round, and we have to trap the white a few times behind this 13 gray, because we don't want that strand or the straggler too long in the back, and then you don't have enough stretch on your hat. So we'll have to trap it a few times as we work. So I'm gonna work 10 gray, and then I'll start working with the white. Here I have the 10 stitches. Now I'm gonna start trapping the white, and I'm gonna place it here on top of the gray, leaving the tail here. I'm gonna do number 11. You see, when I do number 11, I will trap the white. I'm gonna do number 12, and I'm gonna put the white in between the needles, and it's secure. Now 13. So make sure that you count your stitches: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now 14 is white. You see? 1 white. Now I want to place a marker. Now I have to do 13 gray and 1 white, but the 13 gray stitches is too long to have the long strand in the back. So we have to trap as we work. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna trap the white. You have to separate those stitches nice and wide, and when you come here, you're gonna place the white in between the 2 needles, and you're gonna wrap the gray, lift the white, and pass the gray through. And then when you do the next stitch, the white will stay trapped in between those 2 stitches. And you have to make sure that this is nice and loose, that way it don't pull when you put the hat on. So that will be number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm gonna open those 4 stitches again. I'm gonna come here, put the white in between the 2 needles, wrap, lift the white out, and do the next stitch and strap. Make sure that it's nice and loose. Remember, in this round you have to count a little bit more because you're placing the marker. That way it's much easier to know the amount of stitches that you have. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, open those stitches, and 14 is white. You're gonna place a marker, and you're gonna do the repetition again. So again, you're gonna remember, even if you have 1 stitch, you have to leave a strand long enough to have a nice elasticity. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. You're going to open those 4. You're going to bring the white in between the 2 needles. You wrap the gray, lift the white, that way you don't pass it through. Do that white. That's stitch number 5, and when you do number 6, you finish securing that white. So I have 6, 7, 8, and 9. Open those stitches. Again, bring the white in between the needle tips, wrap, lift, pull the gray out. You have number 10 and 11. You finish securing the white. 12 and 13. Now you have to do 1 white, and let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 is white. Place a marker, and like that you're going to continue with this first round of the ghost. That will be round 6 according to the chart, but remember to have that extra stitch. Later, if I want, after I do number 18, I can add that extra. That way, if I want to keep track of exactly the same amount of round that I have, I can add that extra round in here to say that I have 19 round done. That is after the motif. I will add that extra that I did at the beginning. So I'll continue doing this, 13 gray and 1 white, and trapping the strands in the back. That way it have a nice stretch. Now I'm going to work in number 7. Number 7 is 12 gray, 13 is white, and 14 is gray. So we're going to do the grays. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to trap the white since I start trapping around 10, so I don't have nothing in here. So let's trap the white. That's 5 and 6, 7, 8. I'm going to trap now here in between 9 and 10, 11 and 12, and now make sure that it's nice and have a nice tension here. If you're not sure, you just pull a little bit and open. Now number 13 is white and 14 is gray. You're going to pass the marker and do that repetition. And try not to trap them exactly in the same spot in the back. I'll show you one more time. And I don't like to trap exactly in the same spot as I did from the round before, so I'm gonna do 3 gray, 1, 2, and 3. And if you look here, since you finish this with a gray, you'll have 4. And then here I'm gonna trap between 4 and 5 at this 14, and then 6, 7, and 8. Open in here between 9 and 10. And 12, make sure that you have a nice loose, this one the long one, and then 13 is white, that's in the tip, and 14 is gray. And like that you're going to continue working in this round. 12 gray, 13 is white, and 14 is gray. So I undid where I trapped that stitch, and I did it 2 stitch over like this, that way they are not trapped exactly in the same spot, because I'm going to show you now, because I had to undo this to fix this. This one that is trapped, and these ones, you see, when you open the stitch you had, you'll see the white there, and you don't want to see that. So I'm going to undo that and then trap it 2 stitch over, and it will be much better. And this one as well, you see, I had to undo that one and just that one. So this one and this one, because I don't want to see that in there. I just wanted to show you, that way you trap them in different spots. So I'm gonna undo all these ones in here, all the way here. So you see, I don't want to have that look like a stitch. So if you ever make a mistake or something and you need to undo your work, you see you have the lower stitch and the one that you already did, you go in the lower, you pass and pull the strand out. We're gonna work at number 8, and number 8 are 9 gray, 4 white, and 1 gray. Since I don't want to trap them in the same space, I'm gonna work 5 gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The strand gonna be a little bit long in here, but you don't want to see it through in between the stitches here. So you're gonna come here and you're gonna trap in between the stitch. Always making sure that the strand you leave here when you open your stitch, you see, it's not pulling or anything. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 gray, and you see I have 4 white. That's these 3 grays before that white and the white, those 4. So you don't have to count anymore if you don't want to. Just guide by the stitches at the end. 3 and 4, open those 4, and right in the tip you do the last gray. You pass your marker and do that repetition again. 1. I was going to do it with a white, sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have to open the stitch because there are 6, because the last one in here, 5 in here plus this one is 6. So you have to open nice and wide the stitches to trap that white. And making sure there's a nice length. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now you're gonna do 4 white. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open those 4 white and do the gray in the tip. You see, leave a nice long strand, pass your marker and do the repetition. You're gonna work your 9 gray, 4 white, and 1 gray. Once you get used to work with 2 strands, that you do a little bit of color work, you'll see that a new world of netting will open for you, because you can do so many beautiful designs with just 2 color yarn. You can do hats, you can do scarf, you can do neck warmer, you can do sweaters with color work. And once you practice the tension behind your work, this strand, the straggler they call, you will see how beautiful the work that you can do just with 2 color yarn. Beautiful design. So I'm going to continue working in round 8, and I will meet you here for round 9. I'm going to work at number 9, and number 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gray, 6 white, and 2 gray. And I apologize if my voice sounds horrible, but it's that I have a terrible allergies. You know, I get these each time the weather changes, and this time of year is horrible for me. I don't have a cold, I don't have a cough, I don't have nothing. I'm feeling 100% breathing and everything. It's just my nose completely plugged. Especially one side that the doctor told me that I need a surgery on that side, because I have the bone is a little funny on that side, probably since birth. So I need to have a surgery there. I have to look after that sometime, because I hate to be like this. So my voice is a little funny. So now we're gonna work 6 gray. I already worked 2 space in Spanish, so you'll have 2 gray in here, but at the beginning here you'll have only 1 from the row before. So what I did 3 in between 4 and 5. No, I did 3, and between 4 and 5 I trap in this one, but this one going to be different. So you have to just make sure that you don't trap them in the same space from the row before. So I have here 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna open in here. You see, I have the 3 plus the 2 from the row from behind the marker, so you'll have 5. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna trap the white. I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 gray. And I'm gonna do 6 white. And you have to make sure that you have the separation in here, you know, a little bit loose always. And 6, you're gonna open this 6, and you see this one, they look a little bit big, but you'll see after I'm done working with them, they will take the right shape and size. Keep here, leaving a nice long tail, a nice long strand, and you pass your marker after you do your 2. Now again, 1, 2, 3, open those to trap the white, between 4 and 5. I'm going to work in 6, and then now 6 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you see, your stitches have the right size. And these one, they look a little bit longer because we are working on them. But remember, it's pulling the strand in the back. And 2. And like that, you're going to continue working in this round number 9. So number 9 is 6 gray, 6 white, and 2 gray. We're gonna work on number 10. Number 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white, and 3 gray. So I already did this one in Spanish. So I'm gonna do 2 gray, and I'm gonna trap the white. Otherwise you'll have 9 stitches. So and between 3. No, I don't can do it there. And this one I can because I have that one there. So you see, I'm gonna do 1 stitch, and I'm gonna trap. That's the best. You can look around where. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gray. Now 6 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You go on open those 6 nice and wide, and then you're gonna do 3 gray. 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna pass your marker, and I'm gonna do 1 gray. I'm gonna trap between 2 and 3, and then I'm gonna do 4, 5, and then 6 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Open those 6 and go on the tip. 1, 2, and 3. And like that, I'm gonna continue in round 10. 11 is the same repetition of 10, so you're gonna do 5 gray, 6 white, and 3 gray. So this time I'm gonna trap between 1 and 2. So I'm gonna trap here between the first one and the second one. Otherwise you'll have 8 stitches if you don't do that. And then I'm gonna do 4 and 5, and always making sure that you open your stitches, that you leave the strand long enough in the back, you see, and here, to have a nice stretch. I know I repeat over and over, but you always have to make sure that you don't forget that. To open your stitches nice and wide, you see this 6, you go to the tip and do your 1, 2, and 3 gray. You pass your marker. That's why I like to have markers. And again, I'm going to trap between 1 and 2, and then I'm going to work 3, 4, and 5. Then nice and loose in the back. I'm going to do the tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Open the 6 and do 3. And let me tell you, something that I hate is having my nose blocked. I hate that. And taking allergy pills and nothing, and smelling this nasal descongestant inhaler and nothing. That's horrible, horrible, horrible. So I'm gonna continue doing the repetition in row 11, exactly the same as I did in number 10, and our little ghosts are taking shape. Number 12 is 4 gray, 3 white, 1 gray, 3 white, 3 gray. So we're gonna do 4 gray, and now you have 7 gray here, so you have to extra open those stitches, and making sure when you do one, you do this to loosen it up a little bit, that way you have the extra give. So that's 1, 2, and 3, open those 3, do 1 gray, 3 white, 1, 2, and 3, open those 3, 3 gray, 1, 2, and 3. Pass your marker, 4 gray, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open those 7, very open, and go to the tip, do the white, make sure that it's nice and extra loose, that white, the 1, 2, and 3, open those 3, 1 gray, and 3 white, open those 3 white, and the 3 gray. And like that's how you're going to continue in number 12. Within the little nose or mouth of the ghost. We're going to work in 13, and this one is the longest that you're going to have with white, so we have to trap the gray in the back. You had 2 gray, 11 white, and 1 gray. So what we're going to do here, oh, this one fell off. You're going to do your 2 gray, 1 and 2. Now you have to do 11 white, but we have to trap the gray. Even if I don't mention anything, you have to always make sure that this strand in the back, they are nice and loose in between the stitches, so you only have to make sure that. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to trap the gray, but now since the white is in this hand, I'm always going to keep the white in that hand, and I have the gray in here to trap. What you're going to do is you trap like you're going to net with the gray, and then you're going to wrap the white, you're going to remove the gray, and you're going to pass the white. And then always making sure that this is nice and loose, and you're going to continue. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to wrap again. So as to net, you come with the gray, you open the stitches, you wrap the white, you move the gray, and you move out the white. And then you're going to do your other 2 stitches in white, and the last one in gray. Like this. So again, you pass your marker, 2 gray, 1 and 2. Let me make sure that the space in here is enough. And then I'm going to start with the white, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open those 4, as the gray as to net, wrap the white, move out the gray and take out the white. You see? And the gray disappear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Trapping the gray again. And then continue with the white. And the last one in gray. And like that you're going to continue in this round. Number 14, 1 gray, 5 white, 1 gray, 1 white, 1 gray, 5 white. This time we don't need to trap behind anything. So you're going to start with 1 gray. Let me open this very well because I already did this repetition in Spanish, so you have to make sure you open those stitches. So 1 gray. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to open those 5 nice and wide, and in the tip you're going to do 1 gray. Now 1 white, 1 gray and 5 white. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to open those 5 nice and wide, the marker, and then you're going to do the first gray. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 white. You open those 5. At the tip you're going to do a gray, a white, a gray and 5 white. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And like that you're going to continue. We start doing the little eyes of the ghost. We're going to work on 15, and this look like that because there's a white out, exactly the same as here. So in 15 is 1 gray, white, 2 gray, 2 white, 1 gray, white, gray, 2 white, 2 gray and 1 white. Here I already did in Spanish, but remember when you're going to start at the beginning of the round, you have 5 white, so you have to open those up before you do the first gray. So I wanted to remind you that. So you're going to start the round with 1 gray, 1 white, 2 grays, 2 whites, now 1 gray. You see it, gray on top of the gray, a white on top of the white, and a gray on top of the gray. Now you have to do 2 whites, 2 grays, and you finish with 1 white. Pass your marker, and again 1 gray, 1 white, 2 grays, 2 white, a gray, a white, gray, 2 white, 2 gray, and 1 white. And like that is 15. So we only have 16, 17, and 18, and we done our ghost. We're gonna work in number 16. You have 4 gray, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white, and 3 gray. So you'll have 7 and 7. So you have to do a little bit of trapping here, that way it don't fall. So you're gonna do 4 gray. One, 2, 3, and 4. And you're gonna open this nice and wide, and you're gonna do 7 white. But I'm gonna trap my gray in the back of this one. Okay? So I'm gonna do 1, making sure this is nice and loose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now around this one, I'm gonna wrap the gray, open these ones, wrap the gray as to net, wrap the white, remove the gray, and pass the white. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're gonna do 3 gray. Open this. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're gonna pass this. Now you have to do 4 gray. That will be 7 stitches. So I'm gonna trap the white now in the first stitch. That way, again, the white is not too long. And I'm gonna do in the first one. When I do the first one, I'm gonna pass the white in between the needle, wrap the gray, lift the white, and pass. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You see the white is all the way here and instead all the way there. Make sure that behind here you have enough space. Yeah. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Open those 4 to wrap the gray. You come with the gray, wrap as to net, wrap the white, remove the gray, and pass the white. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 white. You see the gray is all the way here, making sure that this is nice and loose. And you're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 gray. And like that, you're gonna continue all the way around 17. I will show you one more time, and it's round 16, not 17, like I say. I'm ready to finish this and just do the gray. So you're gonna start by trapping just right from the beginning the white. Two, 3, and 4. Now you have to work with the white. 1, making sure the white is nice and loose in the back. 2, 3, and 4. Open those 4. I'm gonna trap the gray, wrap the gray as to net, wrap the white, remove the gray, and pass the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Open those and do the last 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pass your marker and you'll do the same repetition. We're gonna work in 17, and this one is the last one for color work. Yay! You're gonna do 5 gray, 5 white, and 4 gray. But if you count when you have to do the next one, you will have 9 gray and then the whites. So you have to trap the white behind the gray, that way you don't have a strand over the length of 9 stitches. So what I'm going to do here, I already have here 4 from when I record that part in Spanish, so it'll be much easier to show you. So you're gonna do 1 and 2 gray, and then you're gonna open, and then you're gonna wrap and trap the white, making sure that the white nice and loose behind all those 6 stitches pretty much. So you have to make sure that you have nice and loose. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 gray, and now 5 white. 1, making sure that that white is nice and loose behind. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You're going to open those 5 nice and loose. As you see, my ghost is perfect because nothing is pulling or anything. So you're going to come here to the tip, and you're going to do 1, making sure that this is nice and loose. You always have to do this, and if it's not pulling, you see I have this nice and loose, it's no problem. Two, 3 and 4. Pass your marker. 1 and 2. Open those 6 because you have 6 in here, and you're gonna trap the white. Even if you have to do a little tug in here to make sure it's nice and loose. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 gray. Now I'm gonna do 5 white, making sure that this one is nice and loose. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Open those 5 and then come to the tip. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and like that you're gonna continue working on your little ghost. This is the last round with the white. I finished with the white in 17. Now 18 is all gray, and we're gonna cut the white, and I'm gonna trap the white as I go. That way I secure the tail, and then it's just the rest is gray for the hat. So now I'm gonna start trapping the white, and one I put it in between and the other one don't. The next one in between and the other one don't. You see, in between the needles like this. And you're gonna be trapping a strand as long as you want. Like so. And now you can remove the rest of the markers except that one. I finished around 18, and if you're doing a double brim, you're gonna fold it where you want to be the fold. Like mine, I want it to be in there. So I've done so far 5.5 inches. That is 14 centimeters, and I'm gonna work until I have 8.5. Almost 8.5. So I have 3 inches more to go, and I will be netting with the gray along. So you're making this hat different size, smaller, even bigger. I'm gonna give you the length for different sizes. So if you're doing a newborn hat, the length is 6 inches 15 centimeters. For 3 to 6 months, 7 inches 18 centimeters from 6 to 1 years old, 7.5 19 centimeters, 7.5 inches, from 12 months to 3 years 8 inches 20.5 centimeters, and from 3 to 10 years 8.5 inches 22 centimeters, and all that is give or take a few centimeters more, a few centimeters less. If you're doing this for an adult, you can do 8.5 and a little bit more, almost 9 inches, depending on the needle size that you're using as well. But that's give or take. I'm gonna do almost 8.5 inches for this one. Is for William, so it's from 3 to 10 years old. So I'll be doing almost 8.5 around there. So I have almost 3 inches to go. After that, I have the length. I will measure here to show you how you're gonna decrease and finish your hat. But it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the way the little ghosts look. They look like they're floating. And if you look at my work, if you look here, that extra round that I did is the one in here. Because if I had done in this one the number 6, it will be like this and don't look exactly the same. I like the look with that extra round. They look like they're floating, and the top of the brim. It's really nice the way it looks so far. So I will measure here when I have my 8.5 inches. And remember, the 8.5 inches is from the border of the brim. Either you do in a single brim or the double brim like this one. You have to fold it in order to measure the length of your hat. I have my 8.5 inches. Now what I'm gonna do is a decrease round. So I'm gonna do 2 together, 2 together, 2 together. One round without decrease, I will net all the stitches, and the third one you will net 2 together, 2 together, 2 together. Cut a tail long enough to pass through all the leftover stitches and close the top of the hat, lose the tail, and we're done. Well, this is the leftover of this one. I still have these. I will wrap around and make a little ball, and I will use in different project, and the white I hardly use any. Well, this is the end result, and I absolutely love this hat, and I know William gonna love it when he see it. It's adorable, and I hope you guys like it, and give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber and you make this beautiful hat. And you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here on YouTube and in groups, please. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.